Hello there, individuals, clusters, and every guy named Buster, or maybe you were just called Buster when you annoyed somebody, got somebody mad. Listen, Buster. Don't use that much anymore, do they? I think it's taking the train to the plane. Only cool survives. People used the word cool a lot in the 60s and they do in 2025. Heartthrob. Hello. Howdy, Jack. Hi, Heartthrob. I know it's Heather. Heather D.O.B. I think I just liked Heather better. It was less confusing. Elaine Peterson. Hello, Jack and family. Welcome. Welcome. Miles Wright. Hi. Good to have you aboard, Miles. And Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi. Hello, everybody. Is Teresa here? Is she? See, you see things before I do. There she is. I see it now. Hi, Jack and family. Going to show you a Christmas ornament in a minute. Encourage people to get down to the craft fair in Tupelo, Mississippi. From what I understand from the email, if I've got that right, there's one more day tomorrow. And then look who you encountered. Let me show it before you say anything. Miles Wright is here. And I said that already, right? I'm sorry, Miles. Pam Donnelly, hello. And M. Silva from the Lone Star State. Yeah. What's the temperature there in the Lone Star State? You never know in Texas. It could be warm, it could be very chilly. Not as easy to predict as some other places. And Heather, I didn't change it though. YouTube must have done it, really. Cheryl Chambers, hello, hello, hello. Dino Greco becoming a regular. Hi, Jack and everyone. Where's Marty Greco? Marty, where are you? Say hello to your brother Dino, for goodness sakes. He's on the Italian side of the family. Well, that's an Italian name, right? Yeah, I knew that. And here's Heather McDonald from Australia. Hi, Jack and all. 17 and 2 likes already. How are you tonight, this Sunday night? Oh boy, 5 inches of snow Tuesday. I'm getting in the car tonight at midnight and just heading south. We haven't had any snow yet except for a few flakes, but there's plenty of flakes in places like Washington in the Congress and the Senate. So, it's nothing new there. Flakes year round. So, Heather, since I know you're tired, you may not be here for a while. I am one and the same, Jack. I am Marty. What? Why are people doing this to me? It's becoming a mind. I won't say that. I am Marty. Just changed to my middle name. Okay. I'm sure you had reasons for that. You're probably wanted somewhere, and I should have never mentioned Marty. How's the arm doing, Marty? Dino? Daniel Sandler is here. Hi, Jack. It's Daniel Sadler from North Carolina. Mom's a little down. I know you can cheer her up. She's Carolyn Mullins. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. We certainly know Carolyn Mullins. We all have that that time. I don't know your mom's age, but as you get into the fourth quarter, if you're honest, you realize that you go over your past mistakes instead of maybe putting them under the blood of Jesus Christ, and you wonder about a lot of things. You start to question everything, including your own salvation. Yes, how is your arm, Marty? Elaine Peterson wants to know. Jack just got back 30 minutes ago from Baton Rouge. Really? Weather was wet over there today. Huh. Did you go to Donnie Swaggart's church? Miles Wright. Well, look at that, Miles, hitting the thanks button right off the bat as we close out. I can't believe it. We're closing out November. And in terms of views and what have you, they're down for sure. So it's very nice when people hit the thanks button or the Cash App. I'm so used to you as Marty, you know? Doing a lot better, Jack. I'll be laid up for about 6 weeks, but I feel good. So you won't have to go out and work during the Christmas season. I guess that's a good time, right? You don't want to be laid up in the beautiful summer. Um, yeah. So, Elaine, I mean, not you, Elaine Peters. I like Elaine Peters. It's got a certain, actress name to it, I guess. Let's see. Where's my icon? So, Teresa Panel has been at the craft fair in Tupelo selling beautiful things like, hope this is okay, like this beautiful ornament right here. I never know live how it's going to come out. Not bad. Not bad at all. There's Teresa's panel, one example of her creativity. Very, very nice, Teresa. Very, very nice. And so, customers come by and you never know who's going to come by, right? I mean, Tupelo is the birthplace of Elvis Presley. He didn't show up there. Let's see. Hope that goes to big picture. Now, do you hear any sirens? I do. It's coming this way, so maybe you will hear it. Okay, look who showed up. Hey, Hockey 92.7 FM, 1999 on the thanks button. Thank you very, very much. That helps tremendously. Thank you. And look who showed up. Here's Teresa Panel with the man himself from Tupelo. The Memphis Mafia Kid, Danny Smith, stopped by Teresa's booth. That'll be the thumbnail. That'll be the thumbnail to this video. Very, very nice. I took several shots of this. I don't know if this will be a little better. Danny knows just how to pose. I noticed that, and very good job for you too, Teresa. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? So, Memphis Mafia Kid, just a taste of the audio, huh? I like him. He probably hates my guts, but I like him. What can I tell you? Let's see. He's talking about Jerry Schilling in this one. I don't know if we'll get that part, but Danny Smith and his family.
Hey, Memphis Mafia Kid
and Teresa.
Hey, y'all. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Hope you've had a great first part of the week. Gonna apologize about Sunday real quick, y'all. Not making excuses, but we had a good weekend at Mom and Daddy's, and thinking I might have stayed out in the heat a little too long, but then again, it could have been one of these little small bugs going around, and believe me, some of y'all's probably had it, or whether it's the heat or the bug. It ain't comfortable. but I'm feeling a lot better today, Wednesday. And I know Teresa put out to y'all. Appreciate y'all being patient with it. So, with that, y'all, hey, we got some great viewers' questions today. And Teresa's going to lead us off.
Yes. Okay. So happy birthday to Tommy Parker.
Finding the right footwear for diabetes, lymphedema, or edema doesn't have to be complicated, especially.
It's Christmas season. There's a lot of commercials. I know you've noticed on YouTube. To avoid that, you can buy YouTube Premium. I'm not sure what the cost of that is, but you'll be commercial free. I just wanted to, give you the open there of Danny Smith, Memphis Mafia Kid. And here he is. I didn't get the best picture in real-time action, but there he is. There he is. That is cool. That is cool. Danny and I had a laugh about Elvis and my uncle's altercations. I think it was 1968. Tell us more. Jack, I carved some spoons for you and your wife for Christmas. How can I get them to you? Carved some spoons. Send me an email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. jackthefairguy@gmail.com. FAIR. All right. Bayou Girl saying hello to Elaine Peterson. Brenda Noyce is here. Jack, hello. It's cold in Detroit, Motor City. We have snow. This is, it's like, I wouldn't mind if it was just for a few weeks, but it goes on forever. It feels, and I worry about the feral cats. They're all welcome to come in, the 4 kittens and the mom cat, Suki. They want to come in, but they don't come in, And if they do come in the moment that door shuts, they'll freak out. So that's just what being feral means. So they have these places in the neighbor's yard with these hutches with straw and stuff in them, and they all huddle there, I suppose. It's not like I go out and make sure what they're doing, but that's where they're living because they're around every morning when Karen comes out on the porch ready for some victuals. They like the victuals, don't we all? Don't we all? Let's see here. Buddy McDaniel is here. Nice to have you with us, Buddy McDaniel. Hello, Jack and all. Hope you had a nice Thanksgiving, buddy. And Nancy and in memoriam Terry Whitmore is here. Hello, Jack. Snowing here today in Maine. What part of Maine again? I forget the general area that you're in. But yeah. I mean, Maine is so beautiful in the summer, and I'm not saying that it's terrible in the winter. It's just more of a challenge, Cheryl Chambers says, buddy, you were in line behind me in Coleman. And you didn't even know it, right, buddy? You didn't even know it. No, there won't be another concert in Coleman. You got to move around. It's not fair. It wouldn't be fair to do another one in Coleman next year, maybe the year after, but it wouldn't be fair because there are people that, let's face it, there are people that want to come to Pennsylvania and stuff. Are there enough people? Well, you'd get, depends on when you do it. I wouldn't do it in January, February. I would do a warmer state that doesn't have snow. But I don't know. Every artist has their strong hold. And I don't know how many viewers Pastor Bob has, say, in California. I don't know. That's certainly a state that needs somebody telling them the truth because Gavin Newsom isn't going to be doing it anytime soon. 33 watching right now, Worldwide Ramblings. for this Sunday, November 30th, 2025. Want to say happy birthday to my late mom, Elizabeth Mary Hennessy Willard. Elizabeth Mary Hennessy Willard. She passed away in 2002. Do I know her exact age? I feel terrible saying this, but I don't. Memory, I should have written it down. I got to write these things down because years later, when you try to remember, it doesn't always compute. It does not compute. It does not compute, Will Robinson. Or you'd usually be saying that to Dr. Smith. Dr. Smith. Yeah, I remember she told me that, buddy, that she was behind you. North Central Maine. You might as well say the fourth quadrant of Maine. North Central. I have no idea what that means. I just got to be honest, I don't know. If you say it's near so and so, I may know that, North kind of means, I guess, towards Calais, Maine. I don't know. Eastport. I don't know. I'd only be guessing. Remember, I have a GED, for goodness sakes. I just wanted to get out of there and get in broadcasting school and play the hits. I didn't want to learn math. I thought I had learned enough history. Certainly didn't learn enough history to do talk radio, so I never really did, except here. Okay, that's cool, Cheryl. She took some pictures. And why are we talking about basketball, Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi? Jack, I'm in the same boat with you. What boat is that? What boat is that? And I hope it has, a covering. In other words, it's one of those expensive boats where you could go inside and get some heat. Watch out for the icebergs wherever you are, Elaine Peterson. Huh. Oh, you didn't know until I showed the picture. I see. Yeah, you can find a Buddy McDaniel video here with us talking together, Buddy and I, Buddy and me, talking after the Coleman meet and greet. That's what Buddy did. He went to the meet and greet, then he hopped in his pickup truck and he drove around the world because he's a wanderer, see? He's a wanderer. He goes from town to town to town to town to town. Yeah. Bye, you girl. I see you. Ah, cool. Did something very exciting today? You did something very exciting. I know you sorted out your pantry. No. I went to my 12-year-old nephew's final tournament game, 12 years old, and he won, and the team even got rings because they won. This idea of giving them prizes when they lose, because, we don't want them to feel bad, that will get you a woke child eventually, an entitled child. No. Good effort, handshake, that's all you get. Maybe you can go to McDonald's with everybody else, Looks like Lake Erie is close to being empty. What? Lake Erie is close to being empty, Brenda? Maybe Governor of California decided California needs it more. Ha ha. He doesn't think about those things. He thinks about his version of word salads and, trying to find fancy explanations that he is the epitome of the Stevie Wonder song. I like that one. If you really want to hear our view, Gavin, you haven't done nothing. Yeah, baby. That applies to a whole lot of politicians. Sure does. Sure does. See here, I got lots of dingies going off there. Pam Donnelly has sent me something, several things. And let's see here. Jupiter's Realm has hit the Cash App for $10 because you're great, like Tony the Tiger, only less fit. How can he be a fit tiger if he's eating those frosted flakes all the time, huh? My weakness, if I have to go for that kind of cereal, although I have enjoyed frosted flakes, who am I kidding? Now that I think about it, but it's been a long time. But cinnamon toast crunch, that's a treat. That's some good eating right there. So thank you for hitting the Cash App, Jupiter's Realm, and Elaine Peterson as well. Your love tip, your $10 for love tip on the Cash App. And there's my reoccurring donation to Tunnel to Towers right under it. I give them $15 a month. It's such a great organization, folks. It really is. Tunnel to Towers. Frank Siller from Long Island. So what else did you send me in real time? Beautiful Christmas tree, Pam Donnelly. I like it a lot. That's so beautiful. A patriotic Christmas tree. Now, is that in your home or someone else's home or an establishment? We've got to show the audience this. We've got to do it. Hope it comes out. That's quite nice. I like that a lot. Very, very nice, Pam Donnelly. Very nice. Where's my nose? Always itch when I come on. I don't know. And here we are back with a live stream. Here's Katina Swatsworth, Team SWAT. Welcome to Worldwide Rambling Sunday. Pam, that is beautiful, says Elaine Peterson. Yes. It was at our Legion Post 84. We got together as a group for the day and did it. Oh, you guys put it together. Very impressive. Very impressive. Let's see, where's my email again? Because I know you sent me two things. Oh, yeah, way over to the left. Isn't that nice? So you're in this picture, Pam Donnelly? Group of ladies gathered around. The ladies that put it together, no doubt. You're in this picture, but you probably won't tell us which one. Good. I love when it does that. It doesn't always do it, and I don't know why. There you go. Not too bad, huh? Assuming you're okay with me showing these. Isn't that nice? Well done. Well done, good and faithful servant. Jackie Organ from Australia is here as well. Cheryl Chambers says to Teresa, I was in Tupelo back in September, first time in about 28 years. Grabbed a dough burger at Johnny's after the birthplace visit. Wow, a dough burger. Neo has joined us, has he? Neocon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Neo, not Leo. And once again, thanking Hockey 92. Thank you so much for 1999 on the thanks button. And Detective Miles Wright in the estate business, really, these days, $9.99. $9.99. I probably asked this before, but what's the coolest thing that you ever discovered? And if you already answered that once, what's the second coolest thing that you discovered in an estate? It's like a treasure hunt, right? Only you're not going to take anything. So I'm going back down to the bottom here. I live about 50 miles north of Augusta, Maine. Huh. I only know Augusta, Georgia. Is there an Augusta, Georgia? 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 And what about Tybee Island? I hear that's nice in Georgia. Has water in Georgia. Wow. Elaine a little sore in her knees. Read what I wrote about my nephew. They won the championship today, and I was there. He's only 12 years old. I did read it. It was basketball. Yeah, I did wonder about that. I did. Did write that. Did something very exciting today. Yeah, I said that. I went to my 12-year-old nephew's final tournament game, and he won, and the team even got rings. That's very cool. Very cool. Good to have Katina with us. Well, here's one of our old friends we haven't seen in a while, Hearts Wild. Hey, Hearts Wild. I love that name. Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday, dear family. Happy Sunday to you. Julia Joyce, saying hello to Bayou Girl. Jack, it's funny you mentioned McDonald's. The coach took the whole team to McDonald's for their championship dinner. Oh, on a budget, is he? Didn't take him to the Golden Corral. Maybe you don't have one. I don't know. We don't have one anymore. Real nice one in Ben Salem, PA. Real nice one in Ben Salem. Katina says, I got my CD last week. I imagine that's the Christmas one. And it's wonderful, marvelous. Yes, yes, yes. Pastor Bob Joyce. Get that now. Go to bobjoyce.org. Go to bobjoycemusic.com. And so, yeah, enjoy that. He loves all Christmas songs, he says, pretty much, both secular and don't like to use the term religion. Christian, I would say, religion can be anything, and you won't hear that from Pastor Bob, of course. You will hear Pastor Bob in just a minute from today's sermon. So stand by. We'll just play a quick excerpt of that. And down we go. It felt good to go out at about Out and about. You went out and about. Out and about. I had a bad summer, and thank God I'm starting to do things that I like to do now. God willing, yes. Yes. Hmm. Jody Smith, evening, Jack. Just got back from eating out at dinner. Well, you definitely didn't eat out at lunch because I don't think you're in that kind of a time zone. You'd have to be in Australia to have your lunch now, I would say. But then again, some people have breakfast at noon. So, yeah, lunch for them, I suppose, is 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then dinner, 8 o'clock. I don't know. Thank you, Jupiter's Realm. Beautiful tree. You're right about that. Beautiful tree. So if you're anywhere near Tupelo, what's the name of the craft fair? Where do they find you? What building? Teresa Pano, I was in Tupelo back in September. I think you were telling me you had one more day left, which surprised me because tomorrow is Monday, unless I got that wrong. A dough burger at Johnny's after birthplace visit. Dough burger. That's a new one for me. Jody Smith hits the thanks button for $1. Thank you so much, the great encourager, Jody Smith in the blue. $1 is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. $2, $3, 99 cents. Military boats and hat under tree representing lost veterans. Okay. And yeah, I think we've caught up on everybody here. Let me have a sip of my cranberry juice. After we play a little excerpt from Pastor Bob Joyce from today's sermon, I'll tell you my colonoscopy story. Because Elaine Peterson is just she's just salivating to call it all poppycock. See, Pastor Bob Joyce. When God speaks from today. When God speaks.
To know his love, to love him, to honor him. God gave us a time and place. You're alive. Turn around and tell somebody, I'm alive. I'm alive. Are you? We're alive. God woke you up this morning. You got up, put on your breeches, your shirt, socks and shoes, your dress. You ate something, drank something. You say good morning to your loved ones. You went through the morning rituals. God gave us a place and time. I was thinking the other night, it amazes me of all the people that's in the world, billions of people. And each single person you think about each single individual, their lives, their whole life, who they are, where they were born, they grew up, they're living their lives, they're going through life just like everybody else. Every one of us, we're just going through life just like everybody. We're facing the day like everybody is. And in all of this mass of people busy about, everybody's busy about doing something. Involved in life, growing, learning, doing, being, wanting, doing the best you can, getting along, getting by, doing better, excelling, prospering, or poor as Job's turkey. In the midst of all of this, you hear the voice of God. Hello. God at different times, in many different ways, spoken to the fathers by the prophet.
That's Pastor Bob Joyce. When God Speaks, just released 2 hours ago. It looks like a hot one. It's already got, and remember, the count here is always lagging the actual count, but it's moving like I'm in Las Vegas casino. The likes are going up, 217 so far, and 1,078 views already. So check that out a little later, not now. Pastor Bob Joyce, When God Speaks, from November 30th. Household of Faith, Benton, Arkansas. I love it when he's just teaching. You know, I think that is the most effective thing. I'm driven to teaching as opposed to, shouting, because, hey, it's the still small voice of the Holy Spirit. So, I'm not too big for the kind of sermon that gets a lot of come ons, preach it, and all that. No, not my style. So Pastor Bob can teach, and he can do the other thing too, just like T.D. Jakes used to do and other preachers. You might tune into T.G. Jakes at one point and say, oh, he's just fluff, look, the organ is working in time with him and stuff. Then you tune in another time and it'd be all quiet and he'd just be teaching, and he was absolutely brilliant like that. So there you go. I like it. All the preaching, shouting, and everything. I'm surprised to hear that, Katina, because you come from a pretty traditional church, right? I don't think there was much shouting in the kind of church you described, but I could be wrong. I could be crazy. I don't know. How many fries are in my Happy Meal? It's lunchtime here on Monday afternoon in Arizona. That's true. I knew that. I figured that out there, Jackie Organ. I'm Pentecostal. Okay. So you went for something completely different. Yeah, well, if you're Pentecostal in the realm of, say, Jack Hayford, who was a brilliant teacher who talked brilliantly about the gifts of the Holy Spirit and what have you, then cool, There's just different kinds of Pentecostal, you know. If it's some guy with, a hanky in his hand, and again, I'm remembering I was saved through Jimmy Swaggart Ministries. He, he was definitely he was definitely a hanky kind of guy. Yeah, he was. But he could really teach quietly and dramatically, and was a really good speaker. There can be abuse, of course, of the gifts of the Holy Spirit, and there can be the real thing. When it's the real thing, you'll know it. You'll know it. Um, so that's cool. I didn't know that. See, you learn something new every day. You're not a crazy one. All right. So you didn't send $25 for your miracle prayer cloth. Richard Roberts is still doing that with Lindsay Roberts. I follow Richard Roberts now that he's in his senior years, and I can't say he never blesses me. I can't say he never does. He's always binding this and binding that, and you know, uh, it's just part of the formula. And I just don't think God works on anybody's schedule. He'll listen to prayers, but when you start saying, and I know there's scriptures that you can use here, but I bind every evil spirit in heaven and what have you. You better be sure the Lord told you to say that. You know, not that the camera light came on. Richard Roberts has had well publicized failures, and he talks about that a little bit. And I respect that and I admire that. I mean, it's never a good thing when your pastor is in handcuffs for a DWI. And I knew one of my pastors down in South Carolina, wonderful man, wonderful man. Um, but his wife passed away, and he just felt all alone. And one time he's kind of zigzagging on the highway, and they pulled him over, and that was a big thing from one of the great preachers of South Carolina. But he recovered from that and went over to Greenville, South Carolina, to be like a pastor emeritus over there. And he's the pastor that when my second wife and I went to his church for the first time, thinking we would go church shopping. Yeah, we make our plans, and the Holy Spirit has his. Uh, we said we'll just let's try the ritzy church first and just see. It's all traditional, and with the pipe organ. Not that I love pipe organs, but you know what I mean. Nothing else, no contemporary worship, and we were just blown away. We did go to the traditional service the first time, and just like happened to me in Montgomery with John Torres, who you'll be hearing a little bit later on, just an excerpt from his sermon today. Within 10 minutes, I turned to my second wife and said, "What do you think?" And she said, "Yeah, this is the church." So we told him that when we had counseling with him, when as new people coming in, he wanted to talk to us, and Pickles was that's her clown name. Sorry. She was interested in serving in the church. That's just what she did. She served and led the youth group and what have you. Extremely talented woman. And so he's saying, what brought you to Rock Hill, South Carolina? New Yorkers. And we told him about her parents moving down there, and I made the decision that I would go along with us going down there. And that I even saw someone from my old job there, Camp LaGuardia. He came in the later years of my peace officer job in Chester, New York, and that blew my mind. We both picked Rock Hill, South Carolina. Interesting. The shelter had closed at that point. Lady likes humor. Hello, me, Robin, and Mr. Robert. Me, Robin, and Mr. Robert. Well, welcome to you all. Another ad-induced crash. I don't see any of this, Neo, so you're going to have to get YouTube Premium. How much is that, everybody? I don't know. This time of year, the ads are heavy. I noticed that. And it's not all skippable because why would people buy ads and then nobody ever sees them, you know? But you really got to be in the number one position to have your ads seen usually. That's how it appears to me. Huh. And you can't skip after the first one, Neil? I like Pastor Bob because he keeps it honest. Jack, I like Pastor Bob because he keeps it honest. I think that is from the Department of Redundancy Department, Jody. Yeah, so what are we going to do about this whole thing with Willina? What are we going to do about that? He refers to her as his wife, so I got to believe him, right? So now what do we do with young Robert Wayne Joyce? What happened to Robert Wayne Joyce? Pastor Bob talks about he talks about he has a beautiful daughter. He's talking about Sabrina. You know, now I understand stepdads would refer often to their stepdaughters as their daughter. I get it, but this whole thing is just it's just very confusing all the way around. So I don't know. I still haven't got any real answers there. Poor Neo is having problems. Huh. We need to believe him? Okay, so then again, Cheryl, do you believe Pastor Bob? How else can I ask it? But do you believe Pastor Bob was Elvis Presley and really would still be? I have to ask you that. Yeah, I mean, it just wouldn't be of his nature to say that. The Tennessee Titan, Mr. Todd Bradshaw, is here. Good evening, Todd Bradshaw. Hello, Jack. Good evening, y'all. No, he didn't say y'all. I said y'all. Good evening, all. Right. So, Todd, what is it? Tuesday is the election, right? Of this. What's the guy's name? Oh, I looked at his name and I said I got to remember that, but of course I didn't write it down. I think he's West Point. It was a West Point military graduate going against this blonde woke woman they're calling her the AOC of Tennessee. Oh, God help us. Please, please. It's going to be the young people that get her in. So the old people got to show up to vote on Tuesday. Change your plans if you're planning on leaving on Monday. Vote. I don't know if this is in your neighborhood, your district or not, but you do not want that woman becoming your congresswoman. She won't even answer a question. They hit her with these things. She has quotes like, I don't like country music. I don't like Nashville. Oh, I don't even remember saying that, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm talking here to talk about what we're going to do. Yes. Oh, keep her far away from government. This is happening in places like West Virginia. West Virginia? Oh, with woke people there. It's happening in Maine. It's happening in places you wouldn't think. Now, I know Maine was always on the edge, you know. It's near Massachusetts, for goodness sakes. But yeah, it is just wild to see that, you know, who got in Virginia, who got in New Jersey. I thought they would be so sick of the democratic form of government they've had for the Phil Murphy for the last how many years that they would want major change there. But those kids come in and the whole thing is about free stuff, lowering prices and maybe student debt cancellation and what have you. What can you give me? How can you take money from the rich people and give it to me? And if there's one thing that President Trump has to do and do it fast is get the price of meat down, because they're using that as their issue when really they want to chemically castrate your little boy. So keep that in mind. Not all of them. Can't say that. Not all of them. They want to have uh, males play in women's, girls sports. They're into that kind of stuff. So please, Tennessee, get out there and vote on Tuesday. Don't forget it. It's very, very important. We're getting too many of these woke numbnuts in there, and it's just so sad, so sad. It's only a matter of time. They're waiting for us to die off. You know that, right? Jack, I think Pastor Bob is keeping it very close to the chest. I think it's really the vest, Jody, and that he knows more than we know. Well, sure. But I mean, he has a reputation on the line here. And so this is such a confusing story. And I think that it will only get worse as he becomes more visible. It will only get worse. So forget about waiting till you die to release a book. I think my sense is that he will say more and he will tell his story 2026 after the documentary comes out, if it's going to come out. You can film a documentary, you can edit a documentary. Getting it out there and getting it out where people will see it, that's the trick. Sure, Jan, but pics don't do it justice. You have to come and see it for yourself, says Robin Roman. And let's see here. Jackie Organ saying hello to Todd Bradshaw. Yeah, Jack, after, how do you say her name? You just gave me her name, which we can't, because she was in the assembly or something, right? She's already proven to be she's from the dumbass region. You've heard of that, right? They talk about that all the time out there and somewhere between the Ukraine and Russia. I don't know. The dumbass region. Oh, it's not the dumbass region? Do I have that wrong? It's just too easy of a joke, Todd, to call it the dumbass region. Reminds me of James Gregory bit talking about, when the tornado hits the trailer park, the news director turns to his reporter and says, "Now you get out there to the trailer park and interview you a dumbass, one that hasn't been to the dentist. And if you can, find one that's married to a 400-pound woman. Find one that's married to a 400-pound woman. She wears these polyester pants. Now, why does she do that? Don't she know how that looks?" James Gregory, he was great. And of course, she always wears, it was funny. You can find this on YouTube. He says, "I just thought of this. I'm going to throw it in." And she always wears flip-flops because she feels her feet are her best feature. And in this case, she's right about that. She's right about that. Oh, dear. Rest in peace, James Gregory. A funny man, for the most part, a very clean comic. Oh, I feel Gene Ho will get it out. Well, he won't step in front of Pastor Bob because he'd be rolled over like a steamroller baby. Elvis would roll over him. Hey, here he is, the Grand Patriarch, Mr. Richard Lyon. Jack, Jack, Jack. Hello, my friend. How are you in West Palm Beach, Florida? You're far enough in. You never answer my questions, so why do I even bother, Richard? But you're far enough in that you don't see temperatures in the lower 40s at night, right? Like they do in Jacksonville. Yeah, better have a gun in Jacksonville. Well, every state has its rough city, and in Florida, it's Jacksonville. Trust me on this. Judge Judy says Helen McDonald from Australia, if you tell the truth, you don't need a good memory. I've heard that. That's a good one. Someone will slip up soon. Well, it's been a long story out there. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with it. At this point, I just want to kind of wait and see what happens. I'll report the chronological story, but whatever. I know something is missing here in this puzzle, just based on the young pictures of Robert Wayne Joyce. So what am I going to say? I'm sure they don't want me hammering this every week, What has Richard Lyon been doing? Did you have your medical testing, Richard Lyon? I hope so, because I know you had issues. Don't put it off. There's a lot of people in that graveyard near you that put it off. Oh, we know someone. She died at 60, Judy. Nice woman. Frugal? Huh. Oh my God. They had money, but she wouldn't put air conditioning in the summer. She would be 90 degrees, be 86 at night. And it was only in the later years she finally allowed her husband. Oh boy, I see who wore the pants there. Allowed her husband to put an air conditioning in. And then, he goes to one of his firehouse meetings and she drops dead in the bathroom, 60 years old. Did she go for they had great insurance. Did she go for her medical testing? Oh, well, those copays add up. Yeah. You go to the buffet and you have a baggie in your pocketbook, and you put them on your plate, and then you're looking around and you put the wings for your husband, you put them in your baggie. Oh, to drink, I'll just have water, please. And then I don't know what kind of a dipper she was, but I don't imagine it was too good. Again, those waitresses rely on those tips. They can't keep doing what they're doing if everyone throws them $1 or $2 saying, well, they didn't do much. That kind of thing. These, like in Flaming Grill, which is an Asian place, they're working like 12, 13 hours a day. Then a van picks them up and they probably live in the same place. They get 1 or 2 days off a week. Give them some money to spend. Let them go to the mall and buy some stuff, because I don't know how much they're getting paid hourly, but it ain't what the 16-year-old is getting paid at McDonald's, So come on now. Come on. Feel the noise. Girls, rock your boys. It's been cold and foggy here in Tennessee, he says. You made me think of killer bees. Killer bees, Todd Bradshaw? The cats are staying close by at night. I'm wondering how they are out there. Every night, Karen begs them to come in, and they get so close, but, moment you shut that door, they're going to freak out. We can't change their feral nature, and then their mother would not be happy that her cats were in there, her babies were in there. So she'd probably go get her gun and start shooting the door up. I cannot roll over in bed. The cats are staying close by at night. I cannot roll over in bed. Well, we just have Willie Loomis. Oh, yeah. Somebody wanted to see Willie. I think I've shown him before. That's Willie Loomis. He's probably yelling at us because we won't let him out at that particular time. We do let him out sometimes because, you know, but this is what he does. He goes by the microwave and he sits there where he can see out and see the kittens coming and their mother, the black cat, Suki Forbes. She's great mom, I have to say. Dad, he got trapped like all the kittens did, and mom, Suki Forbes, got trapped, and they got spayed, and Daddy got neutered. It was traumatic for him because he was a real Romeo. I mean, we're talking Hugh Hefner amount. Hugh Hefner, yeah. And so Willie's cool. Willie's cool. But he sometimes likes to stay downstairs where it's warmer. But if I try to sleep there because it's just too cold to come up here, and I don't like to run the space heater too much, but you have to when it gets really cold. And I know at some point he's going to wake up. I mean, he's got his 20 hours of sleep for the day, and he's going to start meowing, and wake me up, and then I'm awake. So, the trials and tribulations. That is Willie Loomis, everybody. Willie is cute. Thank you. Yeah, he's, he was, I think at one time he had a home. We don't know what happened. We definitely tried to find if he did have a home. We know somebody that lived right next to the Valero station. I think I said this on the promo to this. They said that they nicknamed him Mayhem. We just took a cat home that's named Mayhem. And handsome looking cat there, Jack. Well, thank you. So he was auditioning for us, Todd. I mean, he did some tricks. He was rolling around on his back, and I knew Karen wanted the cat, and I said, "Oh boy, yeah, we got to take him. We got to take him." So he didn't resist when we picked him up and put him in the car. But then he started to say, "What the heck did I just do?" Because we had to go to CVS, the drive-through window, and now he's not too sure about this at all. So Karen's having to hold him, but he's not being ferocious or anything. We got our meds and went on, and he did get out once early on, and it was cold night. And we thought, well, we can't keep him prisoner here. But we would just kept calling him, and eventually he said, "They just fed me some nice food in there. It's warm in there. What the heck am I doing out here in the bushes?" And he just walked right in. Walk right in, sit right down. Baby, let your what? Your mind go wild? I don't know. It's been a while since I've heard that song. Did any of you catch the re-record comment he made on White Christmas? No. Cats decides where they want to live. You don't own them. Oh wow, Helen, you're like you're a oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's true. Cats decide where they want to live. You don't own them; they own you. Yeah, I've heard that commented many times about a cat's personality. It's not like a dog. Dogs kind of, do I dare use the word dumb? And, much easier to comply unless they're vicious. But yeah, but Willie's really good natured. He's really good natured. Priscilla slipped up a couple of times, and Priscilla this and Priscilla that. Other people talk about Priscilla all the time, and the Stanley guy and what have you. Not my cup of tea. I'll leave it right there. I have a dog, my best mate. Yes. As long as you don't make it your only mate, What kind of dog do you have, Elaine Peterson? I love my doggy too. Carol Mullins, welcome. I hear you're down a little bit. Things going on. My opinion, if Bob Joyce is EP, this is not secret to Priscilla. Of course not. She has slipped up a couple of times herself. I think she may have a lot to do with any funding of money to his cause. That's just me saying that. She always seems to be crying poverty, though, right? And she's writing another book, and she's trying to get money from Graceland, and she worked the deal out with Riley, and I don't know. There's a lot of haters out there when it comes to Priscilla, but I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. Oh yeah, Todd. When you said it's been foggy here, now where the heck does Killer Bees? He's been on Moonshiners many times on Discovery Channel. He's not a regular cast member. He's a special guest that comes on for a number of episodes. One season, he was kind of a regular when they were short. They needed somebody because Mark and Digger, there's two Marks on there. He had got injured and he couldn't lift things, so they needed Killer Bees, and he had to think about it, because he's now a pretty successful stand-up comic, and he doesn't want to get in trouble. Now, some people, of course, say he's not going to get in trouble because they're not really making liquor. I don't know. But he thought about it. Let's see here. Discovery Channel is offering me 8 episodes. I don't know what he would get. $10,000 an episode. I think Mark and Digger get something like $25,000 an episode. They're offering me $10,000 for 8 episodes, maybe more, and it's good exposure. And I need to do this. So he's really funny, but he was saying, is he in Tennessee? He was saying this fog came in for 3 days. This dense fog, it just wouldn't go away. And his wife was freaking out. He said, honey, you don't have to worry about the fog. It's not going to hurt you. It's those creatures flying around in the fog you got to worry about. Yeah, baby. Ain't it the truth? I went out there tonight and I hear the engines. Can't see them because there's a heavy fog cover, heavy fog cover. Poodles, huh? Yes, my dog is very big. Does that mean like he's famous? Jack, says Jackie Organ. Priscilla is back here in Oz, huh? And has been on TV and is here for an Elvis festival. Really? Wow. How far is that from you? Isn't that interesting? Jack, I strongly believe that once the documentary is finally released, we're going to have to watch out for the Elvis derangement syndrome people. Well, we're never going to win, We're never going to win there. If we were right, they'll just say we had no business talking about it in the first place. So, you'll never win. I've heard creators say, okay, even if he was this at one time, even if he was that at one time, you shouldn't say it. So that's their opinion, I mean, I think the Lord Jesus Christ, God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit deserves that kind of loyalty, but no man or woman does. If the Pope's wrong, the Pope's wrong, And the last Pope was wrong a lot. This guy, I shouldn't say this guy, the Holy Father now, and I know some people don't believe he's a Holy Father and are very anti-Catholic. I'm looking at one right now. Yeah, I know. But I'm saying that it was really cool to have a pope from Chicago that's a White Sox fan, huh? And knows all about the Chicago food and stuff. Not that I've ever spent any time. And as long as they have that bozo as their mayor and that um, not smart man for governor, I don't want anything to do with Illinois. I don't want anything to do with New York City. Don't want anything to do with it, you know? I don't. So, yes, Jack, I'm having some personal issues that I can't seem to overcome. I need prayers from all of my Jack Willard family. Now it's just the channel family. Thank you, everyone. It seems I am very depressed now. You know, I saw an interview with Amanda Seyfried, who lives not far from me up there in the Catskills. I'm guessing she lives way up. She's past Monticello, I'm pretty sure. I have an idea, but I don't know for sure. But she has this big farm up there, and she's very rich. She's done a lot of movies. Her husband is an actor. I've never seen anything that he's done, and they have 2 children. Well, I don't know if he works much because she's gone a lot, you know. I'm surprised how much she is gone. I would say maybe say no to half the projects and just do a couple a year. My cool American flag box. So I'm going to lead into the colonoscopy thing right now. And of course, Elaine Peterson thought I would be dead and not here right now. See that? That is my new wallet, only it's the box that it came in. That is my new wallet. Never expected to buy a wallet in the gift shop on my way out of the colonoscopy. But, you know, Karen wanted to go in there. And I was willing to buy her the handbag that she wanted, but she said, no. So I'm not going to force the issue. But I saw this wallet sitting there and looked at it. It had enough compartments for things. And it was, I think it was $19.99. But it was on sale. It was less than that. And it has a real smell to it, you know, almost like a secondhand store, but it's a brand new wallet. And it's pure vegan leather. Now, what the hell is that? Can somebody tell me what vegan leather is? So when I told Shoka Porn, that's funny. When I told Polka Sean about the wallet and that it was vegan leather, he called me a woke and something that rhymes with tushy. I can't remember what the word was. I like quad-fold wallets. I think quad-fold. Well, this is the wallet. I just retired for a while. Is this a quad fold? Would that be a quad fold, or is that? Yeah, because here's the other one. I think that's a quad fold wallet, right? No place for pictures. We don't put pictures in our wallet for the most part anymore. Old school people would. That's a trifold. Okay. If you say so. So we're going to have to remember to pray for Carolyn Mullins. Oh, yeah. See, I was telling a story and I got distracted. So here is Amanda Seyfried. She's a multi-millionaire, has a beautiful farm somewhere up the Catskill Mountains. I think probably in the White Lake area, but I'm not sure. And CBS Sunday Morning. You can watch this right here on YouTube. That's right. Neil, spinning wheels got to go around. One of those instant crashes. I guess YouTube changed changed things so a crash can be easily recovered. And when you see the replay, you won't even notice that. But yes, that's what happened. That's what happened. We're right back though. So I was talking about I was talking about Amanda Seyfried, who lives up in the Catskills, and she works quite a bit. You know, she's got a film coming out with Sydney Sweeney December 19th, and the housemaid, and she's done so many things since Big Love, which is the first time I ever saw with the late great Bill Paxton. Goes in for a procedure that he didn't really need, and they kill him. That's what happened. The doctor got sued. He vegan leather is paper or cardboard. Now give me a real, because they don't feel like that. I don't have the wallet with me. It's back there somewhere. It feels pretty good. It doesn't feel cheap. But Katina says we will pray for you, Carolyn. And she's praying for you right now. Very good. Ducky. Where are the two S's? I'll just say Ducky. Hi, Jack and family. It's rare for me to catch a live. Well, it's like catching a wave, isn't it? I've never caught a wave. I wouldn't know what to do with a wave if I caught one. I'll have to ask Katrina because her group are the Waves. Katrina and the Waves. Do I have that right? Cough drop time. So anyway, I'm going to finish this Amanda story. She says that she suffered from major depression in her life and a feeling of self-loathing. Thought, wow, here she seems to have this wonderful life. But something like that, when it's in your head, you have to deal with it. And I'm pretty sure she's on several medications, and you should never feel guilty about that. Be careful what you take, though. Be careful what you take. I mean, some people, I don't take drugs. I jump off the Tallahatchie Bridge instead. Why am I obsessed with the Tallahatchie Bridge? I don't know. Christina Wilburn, good evening, everyone. Peace and love to all from my family. And where am I? Peace and love to all from my wife, and then it cuts off. Gloria Drummond. Blessings, Jack and everyone. Got a foot of snow in Humboldt, Illinois. Wow, yeah, well, I saw the reporter out there. Boy, he was a brave soul. They don't usually do this on Fox. But this guy, who was not that far from traffic, really, is out there. He's got a snow hat on that has the Fox News emblem. He's got a Fox News patch on one of his arms, and he's got the microphone. They don't usually do this. And it says Fox News on there. And he's in Chicago. You sure about this, buddy? There's people driving by. Oh, man, don't do that. Not in this world. Don't do that. Johnny, if you watch Jesse Waters, when Johnny goes out there, he just has a microphone. It doesn't say anything on it. Good night, Teresa. That's right. She's got one more show tomorrow in Tupelo. I don't know if she told us where it is in Tupelo. Todd says, those little ones are my family these days, and I am blessed to have them. Wonderful little animals. Yeah, what we did, Todd, is we went down to Soon's Orchard on Saturday. I'm sorry I didn't catch the singer that was in their hard cider bar there. That's a separate building from Soon's Orchard. But he was pretty good. I should have went in there and got some. See if we get away with playing it. Live performances you usually can maybe not monetize, so but that's fine. My gift to you. And we got to see the dog. We got to see the dog that's been there forever, and he came up and was very friendly. He's in public relations. I'll think of his name any second now. Karen, help me if you're watching. Hi, baby girl. You're making me think of that Nicole Kidman movie. Not that I saw it. Not that I saw it. Cost her marriage, that movie. Did you know that? Baby Girl, starring Nicole Kidman, cost her marriage. Todd. Keith Urban saw that, and he was embarrassed by it. And he said, I'm not going to any of the premieres. I'm not doing anything. And after that, it was just a matter of time where he was linked to a singer in his band. If it hadn't happened already, who knows? I don't know. And, then she filed for divorce. So there you go. Because it's pretty racy, that movie. Hi, Bay Girl. She's from the San Francisco Bay? I didn't know that. Don't see much of Jim Cantori. Is he still with the Weather Channel, or is he somewhere else now? Yeah, he's the very best, But there haven't been those big hurricanes, have there, this year? Florida got spared. Way to go, Richard Lyon. You're probably long gone, but way to go, Richard. Didn't get those big hurricanes moving into the state of Florida this year. A lot of tornadoes here and there, but so far, and usually you get them by now. What are we not sure about, Gloria? Let's see here. Oh my goodness, Ducky, praying for you. What's your real name so I can lift you up in prayer? Well, that's not the kind of question you ask, because she has that handle for a reason, Elaine Peters, with a big dog. You know what they say, big dog, big heart. Exactly. But I like Jim Cantori. I could end up with that. Now, here's what Ducky said. I ended up in the hospital, and I was the turkey on Thanksgiving. You mean they tried to cannibalize you in the hospital? I had blood clots in both lungs. Oh, that's the turkey on Thanksgiving. You mean they tried to cannibalize you in the hospital? I had blood clots in both lungs. Oh, that's dangerous. And they did surgery, and just today I have been moved out of ICU. Praise the Lord for that. I'm doing good. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So, the colonoscopy story. Jody Smith. I didn't see that until after I just said that, Jody. So, Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, was a day of blah for me. I don't think I moved out of the recliner too much. I had my lemon lime Gatorade, and I had water and stuff. And I think Karen made some turkey legs for Andy, and she had some of that, but no big thing. And so I just made it through the day, and I was able to get a little sleep in the overnight. At 2:00, I started taking that prep. We can do all kinds of things with technology, but making that prep drink taste good is apparently not something we can do yet. There's several things we can't do in 2025. This isn't the case in all news conferences, but we still, in many cases, cannot properly mic a press conference. So when people in the press are out there asking questions, you can't hear them. Now, how can that happen in 2025? How can that happen? Oh, dear. Good grief, Charlie Brown. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Blessed to have survived, I would say. Thank you, Trish. I just didn't want to say Ducky to the Lord. Okay. Jack, the colonoscopy. So, yeah. got through the prep and what have you, and didn't want to wait till 3 hours for the second dose before things, because that's just not enough time. You start to get really fearful that that when they wheel you in there, don't want that to happen. You want to be, ready to go. I'm being as generic as I can be. And so we got there about 10 minutes to 9, quarter to 9. My appointment was for 9, but I know that's not the real doctor time. That's the time where they're going to, you're gonna sign a few things in the lobby, so to speak, and then you're going to go across to the surgical unit. And you'll sit there for a little while, and then actually it was the woman at the desk that came and said, "All right, I'll walk in now," and met the nurse and what have you. And I thought, gee, I wonder how many people are crazy enough to ruin Thanksgiving and have on Black Friday have a colonoscopy. So, but there were more than me, and I was the first appointment. So the doctor, he celebrated Thanksgiving. He didn't want no 6 a.m. appointment, no. But he lives probably somewhere around Central Valley, and he has to go past the famous Woodbury Common to get to Route 17 and shoot up 17 to get to Garnet Hospital. He forgot he got to go past Woodbury Common. Now, on Black Friday, Woodbury Common is something like, I would say a Super Bowl. Super Bowl. It's like a Super Bowl. There's that kind of traffic to deal with. They've long run out of parking spaces at Woodbury Common. There's cops in the street, and but it's backed up and it's backed up. So first I saw the nurse, and they put an IV in me and everything like that, and all was cool. They were very nice. And then a little while after that, the anesthesiologist comes to visit, and he was nice, asked me, the questions he needed to ask me, and then he ended it with saying, "Now the doctor, Dr. Plumer, is in a traffic jam, and so he's not here yet, and he's trying to get here, but so now you don't know how long it will be, and now I see other people coming in that are going to be after me, so." I guess my real appointment with him was 10 o'clock, and he got there at about 10:42, I would say 10:42. Haven't seen him in 5 years. He has white hair now. He's getting old just like all the rest of us. He doesn't dye his hair. But the last time I saw him, he was like a stud with the groovy haircut, and the nurses flirting with him and everything. And now in 5 years, he looks older. So he said he knew about my defibrillator and all that, and he says, "We're gonna get started in just a few minutes now," and that's cool. So, kiss Karen, and because she's was able to come to that part, and, they wheel me down there, and, he's not in the room yet, but the anesthesiologist and the crew are, and they're starting to put the oxygen, which tickles my nostrils, and then they're going to put the actual face mask on, but I'm not afraid of that. I trust these people, And I see Dr. Plumer come in, and he's actually putting on his gown that's hanging on the door. And so I saw him for a little bit. And then the anesthesiologist lets me know he's going to inject the medication now. And of course, that's all I remember until they were waking me up. And I don't even remember that much. It's only like a 20 excuse me, it's only like a 20-minute procedure. Good night, Katina. Good night, Katina, from you know where you live. I hope Bob Joyce does a concert in your state. So they wake me up and wheel me back to where Karen is on the way to come back and be with me. And I'm, coming out of it pretty fast. I'm coming out of it pretty fast, And they said, we can offer you a buttered roll and some juice. And I said, that would be wonderful. Cranberry juice would be good. And they have that, of course. cranberry, apple, orange. But why would you want orange? You don't want anything acidy after that, you know? And so then the doctor comes in. He's got to speak to the other people too. And he says, well, we found 3 polyps. We found 3 polyps, 2 very small and one a little bigger, one a little bigger. I suspect the one that's a little bigger is benign. Now, the 2 smaller ones could be precancerous. So I took them all off. I chopped them off there and stay on a low fiber diet now because you're healing. It's funny how you don't bleed, you know? I don't know. Maybe they put some kind of something in there that helps that not happen. And of course, now those will be off to pathology. Those will be off to pathology. Now, I wanted to read this because I was thinking of Elaine Peterson. Cologuard can detect polyps, but it's not as effective as finding them as it is in finding cancer. It has a sensitivity of about 42% for large precancerous polyps, meaning it misses over half of them. A positive Cologuard test requires a follow-up colonoscopy to check for and remove any polyps. Effectiveness, Cologuard detects about 92% of colon cancers, but only about 42% of large precancerous polyps. The test works by deleting microscopic blood and altered DNA in your stool. So you really don't want to miss something like this, you know. You don't want to miss something like this because our friend had a polyp. She's a nurse, semi-retired nurse. She works like 3 days a week and gets paid big money for 3 days. That's how desperate they are for nurses. She had a bigger polyp, and it was somewhat embedded in what have you. I guess they got it out, but she was worried, you know, that this was going to lead to something else. And she asked me if I knew a good oncologist, so I sent her to my oncologist that I had when I had the cancer of the appendix. Another warning sign there. Cancer of the appendix in 2012. And so I sent her to Dr. Kanda Gunta. She's wonderful. And she didn't need chemotherapy or anything like that. So, but she'll be, she took the cancer blood work and she'll be following up with her on a regular basis. And now every year she has to have a colonoscopy. Every year she has to have a colonoscopy. So everybody has to make their own decisions for their own life. Probably now I'll need, depends what pathology says, of course, but I'll need another colonoscopy in 3 years now, 3 years. So, and by the way, colonoscopies also detect things like people that are becoming incontinent because they have accidents all the time, and it gives the doctor, information on how to treat that and what have you. So it's good for a lot of things. I knew you would say something like that, Elaine, and I will just let it stand. I will let it stand. Christians die of colon cancer all the time, and it's not a pleasant death. It's not a pleasant death. But I knew I would have bet the farm, but I don't have a farm, Elaine. I don't have a farm. So how can I bet it? I'll just let that stand. When I was told I had colon cancer in 2012 of the appendix, and now they were going to have to do a colon resection to make sure there had been no spread, I thought, oh my goodness, I'm years away from getting my first pension check, which would have been 2018. Karen and I go out it was cold. It was, that makes it worse, right? When you have to do these things in the frigid cold. And we went out and there was a lot of Christmas shoppers because Crystal Run is close to the Galleria. And I thought, wow, look at all this hustle and bustle. It's not going to stop, but I may stop. I may stop. And it was a real eye-opening moment. Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, Elaine. I am glad I got those polyps out of there. I really, really am. I'm glad I got them out of there. So, Heather, if you get no ads, you have YouTube Premium, right? How much does that cost? If you would tell us, because I don't know. Cheryl Chambers is with Elaine and Jupiter's Realm. They sent me a box of the mayo twice already. I did not ask for it. I threw it in the garbage. Yeah, you are certainly entitled to your life decisions. But, if something terrible happens, I mean, for goodness sakes, if you're in a car accident, do you, as the paramedics come up to you and you're bleeding there, do you say to them, I'm trusting Jesus for my healing? I don't need your service. You can just drive away. I'm trusting Jesus. He'll stop the blood. He'll stop the eternal injuries. I'm trusting. And if he doesn't do it, it was my time to go. Would you say that to the paramedics? I don't know. Jackie Organ, 13 polyps. Well, that's not a contest I want to win. Luckily, mine were non-cancerous. Yeah, they usually are. I had polyps before. This is many years ago, even before Dr. Plumer, I think. I don't know why I had a colonoscopy so early, but something pointed them in that direction. And they were non-cancerous then. So we'll see. We'll see. Tim Boris. How are you, stranger? Good to see you, brother. Well, see, I can't visit with you. You have to visit with me. I think they create problems sometimes. They can slip and sever something, and that's a problem. They can fix it, but that's a problem. You don't have premium, but you don't have ads. That doesn't make any sense, Heather. What, are you married to the guy from Google? Are you married to Mr. Google? I don't know. Crash and 3 ads. What happens if they slip and puncture you? They fix it. It happens. It does happen once every, I don't know. I think I heard a figure once every 500 colonoscopies or something like that. Something like that. Bill Bixby died a horrible death of colon cancer. And it could have easily been prevented. He wanted so much to live. He just gotten married. He bought a brand new car. He was in denial that he was going to die, and but yet he was directing Blossom. Remember Blossom? I might have seen a little bit of it. He was in the later stages of cancer, sitting on the sofa that was on the set in rehearsals, directing the actors and what have you. And he would get these horrible pains. He called them shooter pains, agonizing pain over the colon cancer. So, let's see. Neo have problems? No. It is true, though, Heather. I shouldn't really tell them this, Neo, but Neo's therapist had a nervous breakdown. Yeah, it was worse than the What About Bob movie. Great movie. Here's someone new. It's cold here in Arizona. Yeah, for you it's cold, right? 65 degrees. Neo hash, not corned beef hash. It's cold here in Arizona, 65 degrees. So how far are you from Phoenix? By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. She'll find the note that I put on the door. She'll laugh when she reads the part about me leaving, because I've left that girl so many times before. Lovely Rita. Rita Maid. I would say I'm trusting Jesus more than a practice of medicine. So you don't have anything done to you? You're on no medications, Rita? What is that extra L in there? You did that last time. It's like almost like ritual. You didn't have that before, did you? I would have noticed it. They don't know what they're doing. So my brilliant cardiologist down at Westchester Medical Center, who people come from Los Angeles to see, has no skills. Camzyos is a terrible drug, which I'm trying to get more of, by the way. I'm completely out. It restored my heart function, So far, it's holding because I just had a cardiac MRI, a cardiac sonogram. I can't have MRIs, not with a defibrillator. I'll end up at the top of the machine. Bowel cancer operation is one of the worst to go through, trust me. Hoping your polyps will be cancer-free, WNBC. This hour is polyp-free. Well, the polyps have been removed, but yeah, I don't know all the ins and outs of that. Yeah, it's like open heart surgery. It's no fun recovery, and there's other surgeries like that. Stop scaring me, will you? So, Rita, you're on none of anything. So, okay. So you're in a car accident. You're bleeding. The paramedics come up to your door. What do you tell them? Just wondering. Let me go to see here. Well, you're answering that question if you want to answer. You don't have to. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Todd Bradshaw, the Tennessee Titan. Look at that. Hits the Cash App for $100. He's the man. He's the man. Thank you so much, Todd. I thank you in emails all the time as I try to thank other people too, including Elaine Peterson. And some of you, I don't have your email, though. Some of you, I don't. I don't know that I have your email, Jupiter's Realm. I'm not sure. Seems like I don't. Not everybody sends me a letter. My baby just sent me a letter. Thank you, Todd Bradshaw, so much for $100 on the Cash App, which is lowercase letters Media Guy 56. Media Guy 56. I'll put it here, lowercase letters, which is not that. And you get that by loading it from the Google Play Store. You get that from the Google Play Store for any amount, $2, $3, whatever, $1.99. Sounds better than $2, right? Neo says you have one of my email addresses. Okay. Yeah, I've never emailed you. I think I have. Yeah, we talk back and forth about, like, I'll ask you for a thumbnail and you usually come up with something nice. Don't ever use that Bob Joyce picture you used the last 2 times, which I think has been on church website. In my book, Neo, it's not him. It's not him. It's just, he doesn't have the Elvis eyes. I don't know what's up with that. The other guy commented on that too, and the other guy said, the young Robert Wayne Joyce, come on. How in the heck could that be? Someone explain it to me, and I'll shut up about it. And I'll try not to say much about it anyway, because I know you don't like that. I think not, Elaine, says Gloria Harlow Drummond the fifth. Jesus is the only answer channel. I see your views are coming up, so please subscribe to Gloria Harlow Drummond right here on YouTube. She does live, she does pre-recorded, etc., etc. Oh, there you are, Todd. I see you. Well, you're just such a blessing, man. I'll tell you, because, I haven't looked to see how we're doing. Well, I have, but we're like way down in views, you know. There's so much oversaturation out there. Um, and it hurts everybody, including the person who's doing it. So what can I tell you? You know, um, let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, we're way down. If you compare it to June, that wasn't the number for June. What happened here? It wasn't May, so I'm confused now. Oh, I'm sorry, it was August. August was our banner month. We're about 1/4 of August right there in terms of views. And that's not your guys' fault. The core audience is watching. I'm not going to, put up provocative titles just to try and fool people to get views. I don't feel that's honest. I'm not going to pretend I got something big and then just try to make something out of my head on the spot. You can see when somebody does that. Kamala Harris was the poster girl for that. So, it's tough getting, and the story is not going to be hot every month, Here we are with Welcome to Worldwide Ramblings, Bob Joyce, Memphis Mafia kid, who visited Teresa Panel's craft booth in Tupelo, Mississippi. Tupelo, Mississippi. So last show, I guess it was the Wednesday night show, right? We were on Wednesdays. I believe we will be this coming week. It could change, but right now I'm thinking Wednesday night. Is Bob Joyce Jesse Presley? Willena Joyce letter to the Household of Faith Church. That's got over 2,300 views. So that helped. That helped. But we're not getting the big views, We're not, it's been a while since I've had one that went to 70,000. It's been a while. Coleman, Alabama videos did okay. Some of them near 4,000 views and what have you. And my Stormy Daniels video is a big hit. I'm just kidding. Oh, dear. That's the DJ coming out on me, in me, or on me, or whatever. Nothing seems appropriate when I'm talking about that topic. Supplements, exercise, and prayer. Trust Jesus. Docs are all in it for the money. I just can't understand. But did you answer my question about if you're in a car accident? Let me see. How old in the realm? How old are you, Rita? I know that's a question you don't ask a woman. I get it. Broncos touchdown, says Robin Roman. Oh, you're a football fan, huh? So far winning. If we win this game, we are in the playoffs. Really? Okay. What about the Steelers? How are they doing? Because I have this, we know of these people. Well, it's just a guy. Steelers fanatic. Rich, too. Rich has a beautiful, I guess you'd call it a mansion. You would call it a mansion down in Florida. But I don't know if it's a condo he bought. I guess it is. It's a condo he bought in Pittsburgh just because of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they have away games too. So how many times is he really there a year? It's not like in the summer he's going to Pittsburgh to vacation. He's not. He's going to Aruba. Aruba. Christina Wilburn. Peace and love, everybody. Good night from my husband, Patrick, and me. So glad that you both stopped by, or that you're mentioning him. Thank you for joining us for Worldwide Ramblings. You're 71. Okay. So you're 71 and you've never had an operation, never had a procedure of any kind. You've never taken any medicine. Right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Good night, Christina and hubby. You both have a good week. I need to make more Kermit videos. So you don't get in trouble for doing that, huh? You even use the name, Spell it Kermit with a C. I love some banana bread. I love me some banana bread. What's good? Yeah, I like it. I don't know if it's my favorite. Zucchini bread can be really good, and I don't like zucchinis as a vegetable at all. But in the bread, it's real good. The guys next door, well, really one of them, makes a nice zucchini bread. And when Karen has some kind of a procedure, whoops, yeah, she goes there and she had major back surgery with the rods, the screws, the fusion. She's feeling some comfort from that. Feeling some comfort. Now the problem is in the lower back because that's where arthritis tends to be the worst. But that you can do with PT. Yes, you can do with PT and other things because the doctor said I could scrape that arthritis out of your lower back. Dr. Kynan, who did her surgery, he said I could do that, but you wouldn't like me afterwards. You'd be miserable for months. You'd be miserable for months. Steelers lost. Oh, that's going to make he's not my friend. He doesn't even know who the hell I am. Bills tonight. Go Bills. Yeah. Because, I'm not a football fan at all. I don't get it. I try to watch a little bit and say, what's going on here? What makes this great? What makes this so exciting? They run a little bit, someone tackles. I don't get it. But I can see the finesse and the style in hockey, but still, by the time they get a goal, finally, I'm off dreaming about something else. I've been to a few hockey games with my son Corey. So Rita says, "Yes, Elaine, poison." No, I've had all kinds of things, but no more. Oh, okay. So she's had all kind of things, but no more. But antibiotics are what got me in this mess. This is how I got Julian Barr syndrome. Is there a little self-diagnosis going on here or what? I would enjoy puppeteering with the Muppets or Jim Henson Company. I bet you would. My second ex-wife was a brilliant puppeteer. She made puppets and put on puppet shows. And then she became a clown. What can I tell you? Multifaceted in the talent department. They had me in the hospital. I had bruises all over. They were doing some kind of infusion to help with this. It didn't work. What a waste. Steelers lost today, says Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi. This guy so badly wants to go to the Super Bowl. Of course, it's not him going to the Super Bowl. It's the team, I mean, you think this guy's name is Jimmy. Do you think the Steelers sit at home and say, wow, look at Jimmy go. He's really, he had a successful business and now he's traveling the world and what have you. Look at him go and enjoying life, In other words, it's the team's accomplishment. It's okay to enjoy it and be a fan, but don't let it go too far. See how we have so many interests pulling at our heart. So many interests. Christina and hubby, you have a good week, says Todd Bradshaw. Mm-hmm. Your American football isn't playing here. There's no way to get it in there. No satellite service. They showed an Amanda Seyfried clip during this CBS This Morning show, which you can find right here on YouTube. There's got to be some football here on YouTube. There's got to be. I'm not saying it's the Steelers, though. Totally different game. Well, English football is soccer. Soccer. Yeah, which gives you a hard time. Soccer. I'm just kidding. Soccer. Elton John played football in England. He played soccer. He did. So there you go. So none of you guys, I'm pretty sure I'd be safe in saying, got the COVID vaccine, right? I think that would probably be an accurate statement. Let me see here. Then there's people that actually have done and do more than they let up. I'm not saying in your case, I'm talking about people in general. They actually do more, and they're certainly going to go in the ambulance if they have a car accident, you know? I mean, what can I say? Thank you, Elaine. I see that there. Heck no, no COVID shot. Elaine, I could have figured that. It's like saying Pastor Bob Joyce likes Diet Dr. Pepper. Of course he does. I always said take off the helmet and pads, and the game would be more interesting, more running, I think. Just my opinion. Oh, yeah. Sydney Sweeney, talk about, I think this is stupid when you've got everything to live for, but she did real boxing training for this movie Christie that so far has been a flop, but as it moves into the small screen platforms, I think there'll be somewhat of an audience for it. But she got a concussion. She might have used it as a plural, bloody noses and stuff. And they were really hitting each other. I wouldn't do that. I always think of what happened to Muhammad Ali in the later years with the Parkinson's, you know. I don't think it's worth it, you know, when you've got a grandiose life with more money than you could ever spend. She's got 2 movies coming out, you know. The December 19th movie will probably be a hit with Amanda. That's pretty smart of Amanda. You got this new girl in town competition, do a movie with her. And then you can outshine her there, you know. Would I say who's the better actress between Amanda Seyfried and Sydney Sweeney? I'm thinking it's Amanda. I really am, because I've seen more of her work. But Sydney is fine, but she, you know, she does a lot of risque stuff. We all know that. I'm sure Gloria Drummond ain't going to no Sydney Sweeney movie. I'm not taking none of them. None of them. My goodness. No blood pressure medicine. You know, if your blood pressure, Tom Selleck, you know, had high blood pressure and was on pills, and after a while, the pills started not working, and he was on his knees praying, God, please don't take me out. Please don't take me out. I don't want to stroke out, because that's the way you're going to go. You're going to stroke out and you'll be dribbling in the corner. Maybe for 7 years. It happened right in this very house. 7 years of not saying hardly a word, but every once in a while saying a word, and 7 years on a hospital bed in a living room, you know. Now, I don't know. Had a lot to do with it. Very bad. How many people smoke here? I'd love to know that. I will not comply. Elaine Peterson, you are going to get detention if you keep this up. We're going to send you to Mother Bernadette and her ruler. Yeah. She's a pretty tough cookie, or she was. She's buried right by the church chapel. Her and like 5 or 6 nuns. Maybe they threw them all real close together. Did they even use a casket? Who knows? And the other one I recognized that's buried with her was my science teacher, sister, or back then we called everybody Mother Agatha. Around 5th grade, they started calling them sisters. They went to a shorter habit, different colors. You could wear different colors, and some of your hair was showing on top. That happened in about 1968, 67, somewhere around there. That happened at St. Joe's. So I smoke a little. Now, Lane, hippie lettuce for pain. Well, if you're smoking pot, why don't you try the gummies? Why don't you try the gummies? marijuana is totally legal in the state of New York now, even though they don't sell it in this city because the mayor is he's got this dictatorial streak in him. He's been a little less strong with that lately, but he won't let them sell. And the stores that have tried to sneak it, he had them raided and fined, when it's a legal thing. I don't know. It just seems wrong to me. But a mile up the road, there you go. So I walked in there because sometimes when I'm, having anxiety and I'm praying too. But sometimes when I just want to relax, and with Karen, it helps her get back to sleep, but she actually vapes a little bit sometimes, not every night. So I went to the pot store on Saturday before we went to Soon's Orchard, and I went in there and asked for gummies, and he said, "Man, we are sold out." I mean, he didn't say this, but I knew what he was saying. All you old people are the ones buying the gummies. All you old people. He said, "I got them. It should be coming in next week. I said, "Well, I don't want to vape, it's not good for you. Got anything else?" And he says, "I got lemonade." Excuse me. I walked out of there with 4 cans of lemonade, and they were in the fridge. The cans were cold. I was going to bring one up tonight. I'll bring it up on Wednesday night. I'm not going to drink it on the air. I don't want to push it. It's not legal in all states, but I'll show it to you. I won't open the can. Who knows when I'll open the can? Believe me, I'm far from a pothead. I'm every once in a while when I just want to relax. Like I would have a hard lemonade once in a while, something like that. Mike's Hard Lemonade or a margarita. I mean, there's a blender in this house, and soon it will render that frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Oh, don't need that. Need Jesus. That's it. I understand. Washington State is legal, says Elaine Peterson. Is that where you are again? I always forget, Elaine. The green stuff has helped a lot of people with pain. Right. That's what Karen gets some pain relief from it. And it is an herb, so it was created by God. The green stuff has helped a lot of people with pain. I say, let them have it. I've seen liquor do far, far worse damage. That's so true in my life. And it's legal. Go figure. Yeah. I mean, cocktail every now and then. Bible talks about drunkenness. It doesn't talk about. There's a scripture that says wine makes the spirit merry. Wine makes the spirit merry. I don't think there's anything after a tough day of loosening up with a cocktail every once in a while, But as Don McLean sang in Castles in the Air, I wish I could just play it now. Well, I will not be part of your cocktail generation. And I can't remember any of the lyrics, which is probably good for me that I can't. I saw the ski videos and I think some of the White Christmas video, Neo is now telling me when there's an ad. Do different people get ads at different times? There's 56 watching right now. Please physically do this. Hit the subscribe button right now. That helps me. More people get to see the video and what have you. I have no grand illusions that I'm going to have, 5,000 subscribers. 5,000. I have 11,200 plus, but I have no grand illusion that I'm going to have 500,000 subscribers or anything like that. I'm not Candace Owens, and I'm glad I'm not, actually. What happened to Candace Owens? Tucker, Tucker is Tucker, but it's not as malicious, I feel. I mean, showing video of Candace maybe giving the vice president a hug that was too long, or Jesse Waters and saying, "It's not that I know, but I know." I was very surprised that that came out of Candace's mouth. It's not who I thought she was. But then again, I thought John Kasich, former governor of Ohio, was a good guy. Oh, he was willing to sell his soul because he has Trump derangement syndrome. So, okay, there's your choice. You really want Kamala over, and you say you love America and you're a Republican, and you can't you don't have enough intelligence to realize that you cannot allow. You've got to do your part to make sure Kamala never becomes the president of the United States. But of course, we got a whole lot of people besides her. But it's all in God's hands. I realize that. When at Graceland, we toured the Lisa Marie jet, says Robin. They showed on the TV a cute fact that Elvis flew Lisa Marie there just to see the snow. So cute. What a loving daddy. I believe he was. Don't get me wrong. No, that's Don't Bring Me Down. Don't Get Me Wrong is the Pretenders, right? Yeah. Who did the Rush Limbaugh theme. Dum, dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 da. It's all about Ohio. My city was gone. My city was gone. It's the Rush Limbaugh theme. Just the instrumental part is what Rush used with kind of a sloppy edit, I thought, all those years. But you never necessarily heard that much of the theme to get to the sloppy edit. Don't get me wrong. I have a cup of Mad Dog. 2020 is my favorite show. Only on special occasions, like President Taft's birthday, right? I see what you're saying there. When I wanted to treat myself just a little bit. Yes. I don't think you should feel guilty about that. One daughter, says Rita, has myocarditis. The other daughter almost lost her first baby and has vertigo. Okay. After that, I'm telling you, Jack, what Dr. Brian Ardis, you'll find out about the blood pressure scam. I suppose he's here on YouTube, Brian Ardis, huh? Well, would he say that no one has ever stroked out over a blood pressure that went through the roof? Tom Selleck took his blood pressure on medication, and it had worked for years, but putting on the weight. That chest is getting bigger. He don't look like Magnum anymore. He still looks handsome, and I think he's going to do Jesse Owens, but he's 80 or so now, and that paunch is getting bigger, and that's not good for the blood pressure. And so he got readings of 180, couldn't get it down. He's on his knees praying to God, Lord, don't have me stroke out. I'd like to have more time with my grandchildren and what have you. I think he's doing better now. So I don't know what they did for him, though. I don't know what they did for him because he's still got that paunch. A little paunch, the William Shatner kind of paunch, is apparently okay. And being super rail thin is not okay when you're 75 years old. I don't think. It's not okay, especially for men. Especially, I have to add that caveat. You women just seem to live longer. Some of you. So I think I've had enough of the Bob Joyce Christmas albums. I think that's enough. If you're really going to build the ministry into something bigger now, let's have some really great albums with some rockers on them and some ballads too, of course. If That Isn't Love by Dottie Rambo was your pick to be the number one pick to be the song that Bob should record in Nashville in the spring, I think that's the plan. But then he just did these recordings and we don't know. It's in one of my videos. It's in the thumbnail. What the heck was that all about? Does anybody know? What were they doing wherever they were with a top-notch camera crew recording songs like How Great Thou Art. That's the only one I think we know about. What's that all about? What's all that all about? Some things my sources are not going to tell me, and I understand. I understand. Tom Selleck is one of my favorite actors. Me too, Todd. Have you seen the Jesse, what is it? Not Waters. Obviously not Waters. Jesse Stone, right? Jesse Stone. Have you seen that, the series? They're like hour-and-a-half movies that he does, and you can find them. I love those. I love A Flawed Man. So I wasn't a big Blue Bloods fan because I'm not really into the cop dramas anymore. I used to be in the 70s. Mannix, oh hell yeah. I love Mannix. And others, let me think about it. Ironside with Raymond Burr. What about Dick Van Dyke? He's okay, isn't he? Don't scare me. Jesse Stone. Yeah. What did I say? I said, I don't even know, Todd. Oh, dear. So it is now I'm waiting for the pathology report from the polyps. And on December 20th and in January, I'm having a test each of those times to see. Yeah, I'm having my head examined because two ex-wives told me years ago I should have my head examined. And that I can't say that. I'm going to X that comment out. Mustache? Tom Selleck has a mustache. Mustache? Doesn't he? Now you're making me doubt myself. Jesse Stone didn't. He's supposed to be doing more of them. And, he's flawed as hell. And I love that in a man, that it's an honest portrayal. He likes the liquor. He really loved his wife, and she's, he didn't act like he did. And now he's on his own, and she calls up sometimes, tell him about the kids or something like that. They're fully grown, but, and, he's just, it blows him away. It blows him away because he's still in love with her. You got it right, Jack. I identify a lot with the way he lives in that series. I think I'll watch some over because every one that I've seen, and I probably have seen them all by now. Sorry. It's just good stuff. It's good stuff, I like it in his Gold commercial. Goldco, right? Goldco. He says, I've been buying this for a long time. The first time I had any expendable income was when I was doing Maverick. Maverick? Is that right? Not Maverick. The Hawaiian show. This is why I'm having these tests, folks. Magnum. I got it. See, I'm not totally lost. Magnum PI. That's when he had, I got extra money. What am I going to do with it? And he thought, I better invest some. Because you don't want to just spend the money. You want to invest some. And so he bought his first Goldco stock then when he all of a sudden could go out and buy a nice car because he was doing Magnum PI, Yeah. I worry about you, Jack. Meds can and will kill you. Well, you are very single-minded. And by the way, I hate those prayer symbols. They are so overused. Oh, it's almost like have a nice day. I'll pray for you kind of thing. I'm not talking about you. If you say you pray for me, you'll probably pray for me. But I mean, oh, you're down there on the ground bleeding and you haven't eaten 3 days. Well, God be with you. Screw that kind of Christianity. Screw it. It's why nobody wants to be a Christian anymore. There's just too much hypocrisy. Yeah, baby. But It's so funny, Todd. I looked at that real quick and I said, I did have a golden, and for some reason, another word came into my mind. And then I was relieved to see retriever. Reminds me of a Jim Fry story. I don't know if I want to say it. He said it on the radio and didn't know what the heck he was saying. I did have a golden retriever when I was a boy. You caught it. Todd knows exactly what I meant. I did. I did. Well, if you did what I thought you were saying at first, Todd, that's your right as an American. I did have a golden retriever when I was a boy. Wonderful dogs. That sounds right. Except they chew everything. Oh, that sucks. It's just like the cat who wants to, put holes in your couch. All my superhero action figures were handicapped. Handicapped? No, I'm here. No leg there. Superman had it the worst. Superman had it the worst. Now, this requires some thought on my part, which can be lethal sometimes. The Jim Fry story, he was the program director for 92K, 92 Karat Gold, oldies station. Cousin Brucey owned it, along with the late RFX Sillerman, who would go on to own a piece of American Idol, far richer than Bruce, and made the Forbes list eventually, for a little while anyway. And then one of the last things he did, and he owned it for a while, he bought the name Elvis Presley. Bought the name. If you wanted to do anything Elvis Presley legally, you had to go through Bob Sillerman. And, I talked with him, and he was there for a few years till he sold out to somebody else. But did he really sell out to that person, or did they just front? Because there was no way they had the money. No way they had the money. Simon and Simon. Oh, yeah. Who was the actor? Well, who was the actress and who was the actor? They were married, right? So the Jim Fry story. So here we are on 92 Karat Gold. Everything's golden, Everything. Oh, we're talking about gold, the golden oldies music, And I just, Jim was off the air. You don't go in when that red light's on, but I just went into the studio. He didn't mind somebody doing that. One of his DJs, maybe we got something to ask him or something. And he turns on the mic as the song ends, and he reads the weather, and he's saying showers tonight. Of course, there'll be golden showers. And I almost fell on the floor. He turns off the mic after that. He's going into commercials. And I said, Jim, do you know what you just said? He had no idea. No idea. So that man didn't have a kinky bone in his body, Todd. They're all chewed up. Is that anything like all shook up? I don't know. Oh, dear. Gerald McRaney and Delta Burke married in real life. Yeah, sure. He was in Major Dad, right, Neil? He was in Major Dad. Simon and Simon, though, was Gerald McRaney, really? It's not ringing a bell, but I didn't really watch the show that much. Sorry if we offended anybody. Oh, Neil, please say it isn't so. Yeah, whatever you said, say it isn't so. That would mean that, because wasn't she in Major Dad too? Or she was in another sitcom, right? What was she in? Delta Burke. Then she put on too much weight, and they said, well, if you're going to do that, we're very judgmental when it comes to women in this industry. But if you're a guy and your gut's hanging out to here, yeah, well, there's roles for you. Well, you're going to get all the Wilford Brimley roles now, You like Wilford Brimley? Remember him, Todd? May he rest in peace. I loved him. He was great. I don't know if you saw, speaking of Tom Selleck, Todd, did you see, come on, don't do this to me. Did you see In and Out with a great Kevin Kline and Tom Selleck. Did you see that movie? And of course, Debbie Reynolds. Yeah. That was a good one. That was a good one right there. Never thought I'd see Tom Selleck lip lock Kevin Kline. that was unexpected. But he's a professional. Debbie McGinty. Hi, Jack. Love your videos. Thank you. This is our live stream, so it becomes a video when we say goodnight. Then it becomes a video, I guess, right? Just listen to a video that says Bob Joyce couldn't possibly be Elvis. Well, anyone loves hearing Pastor Bob's sermon. Hope to visit his church soon. Yeah, the people who don't believe will continue in their unbelief. And if it should be that they have no choice but to acknowledge they were wrong, then they'll attack the people that's been saying it anyway, saying we had no business talking about it anyway. So you'll never win that one. And some of their information is just, they play stuff, they try to connect stuff that just doesn't connect, and sometimes they even show the lookalikes and call that Bob Joyce, because there's more than just potentially Robert Wayne Joyce. There's like 3 or 4 others. If this story isn't crazy, I don't know what is. Delta Burke was in Designing Women, right? She was also crowned Miss America, or one of the big pageants. Well, don't say big, because she's sensitive to that word. She's not with us anymore, right? Gerald is. Last I heard, he was with us. I don't know if she is. They crowned her. Yeah. Just like they crowned Erica Roberts, and Trump owned the pageant. People are trying to say all these things, and all I can say is that, if you have absolute proof of something that you're saying, I'm not going to pretend it's not true. But there's 2 sides to every story and what have you. And I don't think it's anybody's business how long Erica Kirk has to wait to have another relationship, to have another male figure in her children's life. I certainly don't think that but she kind of talks like this, that she has to stay celibate and unmarried for the rest of her life. I don't think Charlie would want that for her. I don't think he would. He wouldn't want her to pick a ding dong, of course. But yeah, I hadn't thought of Delta Burke in a while, Todd. But Designing Women, who else was in Designing Women? Yeah, In and Out was a great movie. I've seen that 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I like when just after the kiss happens between the entertainment reporter played by Tom Selleck, who's trying to have a heart-to-heart. They get out of their cars and they have a heart-to-heart talk, and he's saying to Kevin Kline, not to be so worried about this. I'm gay, he says. And then he's still rambling on in his insecurities, and that's when Tom Selleck kisses him. And then right after that, his parents show up in the same intersection, and he says something to Debbie Reynolds, his mom, like, "What are you doing in this homosexual intersection?" Oh dear. And of course, what's her name? Playing his the woman that he was engaged to. Some funny moments with her too. Joan Cusack. least I get it. Sometimes I don't get it at all, and that really freaks me out. John Cusack's sister, Joan, who's hilarious in everything she's ever done. Or if it's serious, she can do that too. So there you go. 53, 56 watching right now. Please hit the subscribe button right now. I'd really like to see a jump there. Subscribe. I know if you've subscribed, you can't do it again. Like and hit the notification bell. If you can, hit the thanks button for a few dollars. That would be very much appreciated. We're way behind in the goal, and the goal ends tonight. The goal for November ends tonight. Neil continues to give us play-by-play on ads. Did anyone mention the price of Yahoo Premium yet? I didn't see it. If you did, I missed it. Deb says, "Hi, Jack. Love your videos." Yeah, okay. I did say that one. And Robin, you are hilarious. Yeah. Delta Burke is 69 years old, so still very much alive. Okay. Sorry, I've done that with other people saying that they were dead when they weren't, you know. I wasn't sure about her, and I did qualify that. I wasn't sure about Delta Burke. Who was in Designer Women with her? I learned so much on your show, Jack, really. You learned about, I'm not going to say it, Todd. I'm not going to say it. Marianne Rossi, she's alive, and she was Miss George Magazine. Well, that's an accomplishment. No, Miss Georgia. Okay. I think. Okay. Well, I'm not sure. Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi. Back in the day, Delta Burke was a knockout. Right. Look it up. No, I saw her as a knockout. I thought she was pretty cute. Not really my type, though. Not the girl next door type that I go gaga for, you know. Oh, boy. Let's see. Over the years, it started with, I think even before Christy McNichol. Yeah, it would have chronologically. The first one was Marlo Thomas, the liberal that she now is. The first one was that girl with Marlo Thomas. Yeah, that was the first one. Then came Christy McNichol, and at the same time came Jodie Foster, the girl next door type, really, you know. And in the 70s, well, I didn't watch Dark Shadows then, so the Dark Shadows beauties I would not really meet or fall in love with till 2020. Karen's in love with them too. You know, we're all in love with them. We all say that we would do anything in the world to help them in their retirement years, you know, in their upper 70s or 80, you know, 81, 82. The Dark Shadows 60th anniversary is coming up July 31st through August 2nd in Burbank, California. That's all we know so far, but it'll probably be at the same Hilton hotel that they had it at the last time, and they'll give more information. They'll say who's going to be there, but I have to say, you know, someone was here from Arizona before, and Nancy Barrett, who we adore, was supposed to be at Burbank in 2024, didn't show up. Was supposed to be in Lyndhurst and Tarrytown in July of this year. A lot of people bought tickets based on, because they had seen the other people, except for Donna McKenzie, however you say it, who's wonderful. Broadway legend, really. So a lot of people bought tickets to see Nancy Barrett and David Hennessy. David Hennessy lives in Panama, and he had some kind of an excuse where he dropped out. He's never done a Dark Shadows event, and it's David Collins, Jameson Collins, and Tad, just beloved. So people spent money, and a lot of money, to see them, and neither one of them showed up. I had heard from somebody that would know, that had talked to Nancy, that she wasn't feeling well. And now you feel even worse because you want to know, how bad is she? You know, there's nothing me being Joe Public or Karen being Joe Public could do, but she was never comfortable with her fame. She was never comfortable with her fame. She didn't realize how popular Dark Shadow was going to come. Like if you've got a part say on As the World Turns, you're going to have an audience that are going to know you, but it's not going to be as big as Dark Shadows, which is now 60 years later still big on Prime Video, Tubi, maybe Pluto, and of course there's DVDs and what have you. Oh, she was a beautiful lady, Robin Roman. My favorite episode is where she's in the shower and she hears the door buzzer. So she straps a towel around her and she goes to the door, and it's the plumber. She forgot he was coming to fix the sink. Okay. She lets him in, and as she's talking to him and walking away, the towel drops. And then she just scurries into the bathroom. And so now she's having a conversation. This was such a stretch with Ted Bessel, who played her boyfriend all those seasons. Good actor. And they're talking about the plumber, and I guess he's got to come back and do some more work. And she says, "Why are you so nervous about him? It's like he saw you naked." That's a stretch, but they did it. They did it. I don't ask for senior discounts, Rita. Isn't that funny? I never do. I never ask for a senior discount, especially if it's a place like Flaming Grill where the price is already pretty affordable and, the food is incredible and you can eat as much as you want. I can't eat as much as I used to. I was never more than a 2-plater, though. So, Gloria is now tracking our ads for us. Sorry, she was Miss Florida. I just looked that up. I was wrong. Don't get me wrong. I see. Miss Florida. So, you tune into Gloria's channel, and she's pretty serious, much more spiritual content than I do. I did a lot more in the beginning. It is the virtual church of the disillusioned. And I remembered that scripture that said, those that teach will be held to a higher account. And I thought about my walk back then, and I thought, I'm not comfortable being a teacher. I just share. And that's really what I was doing. As Jesus would give me something, I would share. Todd Bradshaw has the answer here. YouTube Premium costs $13.99 a month for an individual plan, $22.99 a month for a family plan, and $7.99 for a student plan. Oh, they got it all covered there. So I wonder how many outlets you can have for $22.99. I mean, can I give my code to my son in Texas? Because that wouldn't make sense, People would abuse that. You know how they find ways to abuse things. So thank you, Todd. It's not a lot of money, but if you've got other things, you don't want a big cable bill and what have you. So I understand. But, some people like that. So I've never seen Gloria anyone who was completely focused on Jesus. And there's that part of me, disillusioned, depressed, and downtrodden because they feel that they went to churches and they saw all the game playing, they saw the hypocrisy, people walking out in a huff when they didn't get the position they wanted in the church. I've been to churches where, I went to one church where one of the pastors committed a felony, numerous felonies, and it was all swept under the rug, but he had to leave. He had to leave. Wonderful man, too. I hope he's restored in Jesus. Wonderful man. That may sound crazy, but wonderful man. But when you're, when you're prominent in the church and you got the same struggle all men have at one point in their lives, you got to keep it Hush, hush, mush, mush. You disclose that to the senior pastor, you're going to jump through more hoops than any circus animal ever did, ever did. And so it's best to work it out with God if you can, The virtual church of the dissolution and downtrodden. Dissolution? I'm not I didn't really dissolve the channel. um, I like right now, I'm working on a series that will be different, and there will be much more of a spiritual aspect, but it won't be. I'm not playing to the. Let's put it this way: there'll be people that will, not be thrilled with what I'm saying sometimes. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father but through him. But I also know that there's when I say that people are not completely focused on God, people that would say, I'm completely focused on God are, very big on this topic. They're very big on food. I remember one of my pastors, that would be Pastor Steve. So that's one of our biggest problems, isn't it? That, one of the 7 deadly sins is gluttony. Oh, we think about food a lot, don't we? It's important to us. When's the next meal? What am I going to have? All these things. And if you're a guy and you can't even go to a beach anymore if you're a guy. It's like walking into a den of temptation. They're dressed like strippers from 14 years old up. What the heck is going on with that? What do you never do, Rita? What do you never do? See, I never pick it up in real time because I'm on to another topic and I forget what I just said. Gene Smart, Dixie Carter. Are we talking about Gene Smart, Dixie Carter, Annie Potts from Ghostbusters movies? Was Annie the secretary? Meshach Taylor, Julia Duffy, Gerald McRaney, and a lot more were on Designing Women. Huh. Okay. So did Delta follow him to Major Dad, or didn't she? I don't know. I don't know. We can't judge, though, Jack. God only knows their hearts. Well, there are disqualifying things you could say, and I hope this is not true of Donald Trump 2025. He's had enough counselors, that including Franklin Graham, who begged him to stop using profanity. He doesn't use God's name in vain anymore. But, he did say in 2016 that he never asked God for forgiveness. So he just told us he's not saved. A saved person couldn't say that. It makes no sense at all. So there's 2 kinds of judging in the Bible. There's the kind, look at that guy, he could never be saved. Who the heck are you to say that? Who the heck are you to tell me that Judas could not have been saved? You don't know that. You don't know that. Look at the thief on the cross. In the last minutes of his life, he got saved. Didn't get baptized first. Sorry, that doctrine doesn't work. And the other one mocked him. So Jesus said to the thief on the cross, said, remember me. Some things make me emotional. Remember me when you get to your kingdom. And he said, today, not after soul sleep. There's a lot of confusing things in the Bible, too, if we're going to be really honest. Today, you'll be with me in paradise. Today, you'll be with me in paradise. So soul sleep, the way we think, and I know the scriptures, you take an issue like eternal security. Charles Stanley, a brilliant biblical mind, hard, fast yes on eternal security. But you can find scriptures that would say that's not right. That's not right. What, are you going to be saved on Monday and lose your salvation on Wednesday? That can't be right. See, I'm giving you material to talk about on your channel, Gloria, so I'll have to tune in, right? What's right? See, here it is again. I'm not sure which part you're agreeing with. I agree, Todd. I'll make my macaroni salad. Well, I hope you're using the Hellman's. If you tell me you're using Miracle Whip, we're gonna put your macaroni salad on the kiddies' table. You know what I'm saying, Elaine? It's not hard to make a good macaroni salad. You know, you got to have some good mayo. It doesn't have to be Hellman's, but don't use Kraft. Nah, don't taste right. Mike's mayo is pretty good. ShopRite mayo is pretty good. We always used to say, I think that Hellman's is selling them that, and they're putting their name on it. That they worked out a secret deal. Hope we all can get together in his kingdom for a good meal someday. Well, the only meal I hear about is in the beginning. I hope there's more. We'll be able to say we knew each other. Yeah. Carolyn Mullins is here still. See, I would say, Carolyn, if you have major anxiety, major depression, it's not sinful to take something for it. Just be careful what you take. Just be careful what you take. There are many here that would not agree with me, apparently. So I would say that we worked at a place where the girl was seriously bugging out. The meds that she had used before didn't seem to work anymore. And they were getting the paperwork ready. She was only in her 20s to take her down to Rockland Psych and throw away the key. They put her on lithium, and she became a whole different person. She was able to live a normal life. So there is that. Jack, I am not too proud. I always ask for senior military and or AARP discount. Merchants are not going to volunteer. Especially with AARP, there are a lot of good discounts with this membership. You know, we had a AARP card for years and never used it. You know, I didn't need to use it for prescriptions because I have the City of New York. And so I never really found need for it. There are conservatives that say that, they're liberal as liberal can be, they're liberal as PBS, et cetera, et cetera. But I have no problem if you get benefits from that. All I know is I canceled my Hulu when I understood what the Disney politics were, and I haven't gotten it back since. Now we have Sling. Jack, it's always the good pastors that have a questionable past. That's right, because they know what it's like. They're going to be less likely to be judgmental, less likely to condemn you for sexual sin and what have you. They understand the temptation. There's a book called Every Man's Battle. Haven't heard from that pastor in a while. I've forgotten his name. But Every Man's Battle, meaning every man deals with sexual lust. Every man. And some are more victorious than others. Todd Bradshaw says lithium does wonders. Just staring into the sun at sunset has a positive effect, okay, on the brain's chemistry. Sunlight is good. So let's hope the aliens in that comet the size of a football field doesn't blow up the sun. But to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. I just can't believe his grace would be that amazing in my particular case. But I beg him every night. It's like they are flooding with inordinate amount of ads to try to force paying them for it to stop. I don't know. It's Christmas time. We used to go, the radio stations I worked at, Neo, back in the day, the maximum amount of commercials, this will surprise you on a music station, the maximum amount of commercials we could run in any given hour was 18 and a half. 18 and a half minutes of commercials sprinkled, and in Christmas time, December, November, we were running 18 and a half minutes. Now, when Cousin Brucey started 92 Karat Gold, he said the maximum is going to be 12 minutes. That's the maximum there. That's all we can do because it ruins the station. Okay, so you deal with 18 and a half minutes of commercials, and we had to bust our butt during that season, get off the air and do 2.5 hours of production to get these commercials loaded onto carts, to voice them in some cases. And then you add a newscast or 2 newscasts, maybe a quick sports cast. How much music are they actually hearing? How much music are they actually hearing? Neo has a tinfoil hat. I'm not surprised to hear that. My daddy is up there, and he cooks some great food. Well, are you talking about heaven or northern Canada? Jack, it's always the good pastors that have a questionable past, and because they really do have interesting stories to tell, But I suppose this one pastor I was referring to that really behaved in a way that should have led him to jail. He could have been rehabilitated, but he was insistent on resigning. Because he thought what he did was unconscionable. And he may have been right about that one right there. Ads in general everywhere are ridiculous anymore. It's just too much, says Todd. Yeah. I never understood. The Progressive commercials are sometimes quite funny, but I don't think it makes me want to buy Progressive car insurance. The times I've had Progressive car insurance is when I had a separation, months without insurance, and I wasn't driving either. And then I needed to get insurance. Oh, well, State Farm won't take you back till you've been with somebody else for 6 months. Really? So Progressive was high. It was high. Everybody says, oh, bundle and all that stuff, but not everybody wants to do that or owns a home, et cetera, et cetera. Neo, you were making bad mayonnaise choices. Of course, Miracle Whip is not a mayonnaise, and Kraft is the worst of the mayonnaise. Trust me on this, Neo. There's some things I know about. I don't know about car repair, but I know my mayo. And I can tell when some deli is cheating me, and I don't go back. Don't give me Miracle Whip on a sandwich I'm paying $14 for or more. No. So let's hear Pastor John Torres right now. Just give us a word of encouragement. He was my pastor for 5 years. He's the pastor of Goodwill Church in Montgomery. He's preaching on Zechariah. He's a verse-by-verse preacher, but he, of course, ad-libs brilliantly around it. And I don't know if we'll capture a good part here. I tried. We'll see.
Now, if you are somebody who overthinks things, then you and I have this in common. If there was such a thing as Overthinkers Anonymous, and I wonder if there should be such a thing, but if there were such a thing and I were to show up at that, I would have to stand up and say, hi, my name is John, and I'm an overthinker. And what would you say back? That's right. Yes, that's right. You'd say, hi, John. The worst things that I have done or not done have been the results of my overthinking. It's gotten me in so much trouble. It's caused so much damage in my life that I have on my desk, no kidding, a sign handwritten by me, don't overthink it. And I have it in other places too. And the full message is don't overthink it, have faith. Or don't overthink it, trust God. Or don't overthink it, believe. Don't overthink it. Now, in almost 30 years of ministry, I have seen that you and I can do some serious overthinking. We overthink everything. We overthink Jesus. We overthink grace. We overthink salvation. We overthink the Bible. If it says it in the Bible, it says it in the Bible. We overthink it. We overthink forgiveness. Oh, do we overthink forgiveness? We overthink second chances. It's a second chance. Take it. Oh, I don't know. Take it. It's a second chance. We overthink love and relationships, life and death. We overthink Christ's return at the end of time. Many, many books are written about it. Many videos are made about it. The books are better than the videos, but all of them, 95% of what you need to know, maybe 100% of what you need to know, can be captured in a 4-word sentence. He is coming back.
It's Pastor John Torres. The sermon that went up today is the lesson of Zechariah, the Gospel of Luke, the first Advent sermon from Pastor John Torres. I'd ask you to do me a favor because they have just started this multi-camera thing not that long ago, which I envisioned for him when I attended the church in 2003 to 2008. I was used of God to get him on the radio, and Joe Regatta did the tech work, and he was wonderful, and Pastor John was great. We went on the Bridge Network, and that's not easy to do. They usually use a certain denomination, which Pastor John is not in. And so, we had CDs of our radio program that had started to air in Port Jervis, New York. And so I sent them to the Bridge along with a nice cover letter. And, they turn down most people. They get into New York City. But I got either a phone call or an email, I can't remember which, and they said, well, we do have Saturday mornings open at 11:30. We'll give it a 6-month trial, or we'll give it a trial. I don't know if they said 6 months. We'll give it a trial, and we'll see how it goes. So they did. And after 6 months, they were inviting him to their summer, I don't want to say festival, but their summer, it was outdoor thing where various pastors that were on the network would come and speak, like a festival of sorts. And they invited him to come and speak. And then after I left Goodwill and moved to South Carolina, they offered him the 4:00 time slot Monday through Friday, because by then there was a catalog of past sermons, and they offered him 5 days a week on the Bridge at 4 p.m. Good time slot. Some driving going on at that time, driving home. So I thought that was really cool. So if you could look up Goodwill Church and subscribe and watch some of his stuff, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, including the one from 11:30:25. He's a one-of-a-kind preacher. I've never met anybody like him. And so I said, this man here, said to my wife, this man here's got to be on the radio. And really, as I look at him, he's a handsome pastor. he needs to be on TV too, but one step at a time. So it took him 10 years later or 7, whatever it is, years later, and now they got the multi-camera system. And now they got to find an audience. They got to find an audience because just on YouTube as a pastor is not so easy. You've got to be on platforms. And there's ways to find cheap TV platforms too. But they're doing good tech work down there. And I notice at Pastor Bob's church, the tech work is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's just nice to see that multi-camera, etc. So, Jack, just some depression. I don't take medication for this. I am depending on prayer. Christmas is difficult for me. My first without my husband. Oh, yeah. Well, the only someone who's had that experience, and I haven't had it yet, is going to understand that level of pain and what have you. So there's clinical depression and there's that kind of depression. I don't think what you have is probably clinical depression. But if you're not going to talk it out, even with a Christian counselor, could you do that? A Christian counselor, talk it out. At some point, people reach a level where if they don't get on some kind of medication, they start to slip away. And, well, I won't say any more. Hey, here's Adam Davidson. Mr. Jack, hello. Coming in late, huh? We're just about at the 2-hour mark now. What do I mean, 2 hours? 8:30, 9:30? Did I really do a 3-hour show, folks? Am I coming up on a 3-hour show? Oh, that's the record. Here on November 30th, my mom's birthday, whatever it was. Whatever it would have been. I can't believe I did a 3-hour show. No wonder that crashed earlier. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I've got to read scripture. Here's Sand Drafer. I love it when you expound on the scriptures. You seem to have a good discernment, not really, sometimes, of what they are really saying. I need to do a lot more studying. Don't take my word for it. Look at it yourself and pray about it and what have you. Where are you from? Where do you watch us from? 3 hours, Neil. I can't believe it. See how the time goes? I mean, we just went through one of those, what was that Leonardo DiCaprio movie from a few years back that was 3 hours? We just did that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it myself. Psalm 145 in the NIV. I will exalt you, my God, the King. I will praise your name forever and ever. Every day I will praise you and extol your name forever and ever. This is what we're supposed to be doing every day. Great is the Lord and most worthy of praise. His greatness no one can fathom. One generation will command your works to another. One generation will commend your works to another. They will tell of your mighty acts through the power of the Holy Spirit, of course. This is a Psalm of David. They will speak of the glorious splendor of your majesty, and I will meditate on your wonderful works. They will tell of the power of your awesome works, and I will proclaim your great deeds. They will celebrate your abundant goodness and joyfully sing of your righteousness. The Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and rich in love. The Lord is good to all he has compassion on, and he has made. All you have made will praise you, O Lord. That's another interesting verse. All you have made will praise you, O Lord. Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. That's what that reminds me of. They will tell of the glory of your kingdom and speak of your might, that all men may know of your mighty acts. Part of Psalm 145 in the NIV. Glad you were on 3, Jack. We broke a record tonight, huh? Because I missed getting a notification again, and I fell asleep. Well, that can happen. So, Lord, we just lift up the needs that we have here tonight, Carolyn, with her depression, Lord, we know that you are the healer. We know that you can touch her from the top of her head to the soles of her feet. So we lift her up, Lord. We lift her up. Give her direction. If it's direction she doesn't want, make her understand it's your direction. And we certainly pray for Brenda Noyce and Marty Go, who's calling himself Dino now. And Marianne Rossi is getting stronger now. We praise you for that good report. And Adam Davidson seems to be on the mend. And there's just so many needs here, Lord. And as we close out, this will become a pre-recorded, and you'll have a comment section there. Put any request. Hello, replay crowd. Bless them and bless the people here, Lord. Unspoken needs as well. We pray this in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. So, weeping may come in the morning, but his mercy endures forever, right? Amen. Amen. Praise his holy name. I agree. My personal email is jackthefairguy@gmail.com. jackthefairguy@gmail.com. Let me know your story, what you'd like to see more of, and what have you. Not all things fit for me, you know. Some things don't work for me. But I'm going to begin that video, which will be a no comment video, because it's not like sometimes you just want to put something out there, realizing probably more males will understand it than women. I'm not going to make this a confession booth either. I'm not crazy. That can, bite you in the butt. But I'll share a little bit, and we'll talk about some political issues too, and what have you. Good night, Jackie Organ from Australia, even though you're not going to sleep for a while, are you? At least you take a nap on the recliner. Amen. You have a good week. Good night. Thank you, Todd Bradshaw. Almost time for the midnight donut run. Unbelievable. So, see you Wednesday night. How's that? I think we'll be able to do that. I'll let you know if anything changes Wednesday night at 10 p.m. East Coast time for the next Worldwide Ramblings. It was a pleasure spending 3 hours plus with you. Big God bless you. Good night.